look at the size of these glads, have you ever seen anything so spectacular, and what gorgeous color? Well, I'm in an absolutely charming garden in the Willamette Valley in Oregon. This garden is fraught with beauty. Lots of perennials, but more than that, so many summer bulbs, you just cannot believe it. Lilies, dahlias, gladioli, and these spectacular crocosmias from South Africa. Well, I had the good fortune to walk around this garden and learn more about it from its creator, Ray Fordyce. Ray, this is such a beautiful garden. What was your inspiration?
Thank you. In fact, when I was in college, I would walk past a beautiful garden every day that had been designed by a couple of landscape architect ladies in the 1930s, and they designed several significant gardens in the area.
Were they laden with summer flowering bulbs like this one is?
No, like most Oregon gardens, it was a spring garden primarily.
I see.
A lot of things bloom here in the spring, and it's very easy to have an excellent garden. But the weather is pretty terrible here in the springtime, and it's beautiful all summer long.
Well, you have certainly ushered bloom into the full summer here.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
the bulbs. I mean, I look around, I see those gorgeous crocosmias and lilies and dahlias all in flower.
Yes, the purpose is something that can give you color in your garden with very little effort. And most of these bulbs are just about indestructible. They continue to multiply and produce more flower every year.
I mean, it's just a matter of getting them in the ground and giving them, you know, for the most part, full sun, depending on what you choose. I mean, certainly what you have here is a full sun garden. And just fertilize them and take care of them in a general sort of way, and they're really easy.
Yes, they're easy to live with. In fact, in this garden, I do have very rich soil. And so most of what I have grows to enormous height, which I really hadn't planned. Nonetheless, it makes it pretty impressive.
Well, I'm sure you're asked this a lot, because I am. What's your favorite flowering bulb this time of year?
Of course, the hybrid Asiatic lilies. It has a blackberry colored center with a cream edge.
Well, even its architectural form, without the blooms being fully colored and open, is really quite handsome.
Yes. Most of the lilies, in fact, that people are planting, like Stargazer and Casablanca, these are cut flowers, whereas what I've looked for is long bloom season.
So among dahlias, do you have a favorite? I mean, like the really, you know, dark ones, or maybe it's the cactus flowered ones?
What I'm looking for in the dahlias, there are a lot of different dahlia growers in this area. In fact, I think America's largest dahlia grower is just a few miles up the road. So you can buy a lot of dahlias anywhere. What I'm looking for in dahlias is something that's going to look good in a mixed setting. Typically, when people I find have dahlias, they'll grow one of each in a row.
Right.
So actually dahlias that have less showy blossoms, where there's a lot of green foliage, good structure, and works well in a mixed garden setting.
Really more of a landscape dahlia, if you will, than one that's for show or cutting. Right. I am so taken away with what I found out here in what seems like the middle of Oregon, among all these beautiful fields of grain, this gem. Last summer, I had the opportunity to visit the Willamette Valley during the peak of blueberry season. While I was there, I caught up with a friend of mine, Carson Lord. He's from Silverton, Oregon. He's using wonderful edible blueberries in his landscape. Well, Carson, it's looking great.
Well, thanks, Alan.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah, a blueberry hedge.
We're real excited about it. It's coming together nice.
What a great way to use blueberries.
Well, we think so. We're excited to have the fruit in the summertime and the foliage all year round.
Well, this beautiful green foliage this time of year is just exquisite. I mean, it's so clean. There's no problems with it at all. No spots.
Sure, and then in the fall, of course, we're going to get those nice bright red canes. So we're looking forward to that too.
Yeah. Which variety of blueberry did you use here?
We use Duke here, so it'll be a little bit taller and a little bit broader hedge for us.
Yeah, yeah.
But the berries here, a little bit larger. Frankly, I think a little bit better tasting.
Yeah, Duke does produce a really big berry.
And we planted them nice and tight to get that hedge look right away.
So what'd you plant, about 18 inches apart?
Exactly.
Well, it looks great. Now, tell me a little bit about what you did for the soil, because, I mean, basically you've got pretty good soil here, don't you?
We do. You know, it's a pretty heavy clay. But it is very acidic, so we didn't have to do anything to bring the pH down. Normally we'll add some lime to it when we're planting things to bring it up, but with the acid-loving plants like this, we're able just to leave it as it is. And then we incorporated some organic compost into it just to help with the drainage.
Loosen the soil a little.
Absolutely, and then we threw a little slow release fertilizer in there as well. They like a lot of water and nice even watering, so my plan is to run a drip line actually on both sides of it, just even spaced, that we can keep them wet throughout the summer.
Well, it just looks great, and what a novel idea. I mean, here it's not only beautiful, it's also useful, and you're gonna have all this fruit. I mean, these things produce so much fruit.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to it.
So I'm going to be doing a field green salad with a blueberry balsamic vinaigrette dressed with fresh blueberries, herb roasted walnuts, shaved fennel, and shaved fenaccio chev. The first thing we're going to do is roast the walnuts. So I will add a little olive oil. I'm going to add shaved fennel and some minced onion, a little bit of salt, a little bit of freshly ground black pepper, and our blueberries. I'm just going to gently saute that until the berries start to burst through that. And just as they release their color, we add our balsamic vinegar. So now I have the blueberries, the vinegar, the onions, and the fennel with a little bit of salt. We're going to place that in the blender. And after we blend it up, you get a berry puree, much like you would with any kind of a coulis or fruit coulis. And I'm going to make the vinaigrette with a little violet mustard, our blueberry puree, and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of the puree, 1 tablespoon of the violet mustard, and then I am gonna just whisk that in, extra virgin olive oil. Do this a little bit easier with a towel. Whisk it in a thin stream, a few drops at a time, and you'll see the vinaigrette eventually start to emulsify, become a little bit lighter, a little bit more opaque, and now we can add it a little bit faster. So that's all in. We'll give it a nice whisk. Now we're going to make our herb roasted walnuts. Add a little bit of olive oil, and once that heats up, we'll add a few walnuts. You don't want to overheat the pan. Most nuts will burn fairly quickly, so you want to keep shaking it around. Let it coat it very nicely as it warms through. Add a pinch of salt and a couple turns of cracked black pepper. The walnuts will eventually heat up, get coated with the olive oil. We'll sprinkle them with chopped herbs. You can use any kind of chopped herbs you like. This is a little bit of thyme, rosemary, parsley, and sage. And we'll put those in the oven for 2 or 3 minutes. You want to check that frequently so that they don't brown. When we're finished, we have a nice coating, real nice taste, a little bit of bitterness from the walnut. So now I'm going to dress the salad. We have a few different types of field greens. A little salt, a little bit of cracked black pepper, a little bit of our blueberry vinaigrette, and you just want to toss that very delicately so it just coats the greens. Place that nicely in the center of the plate. Dressed with a few chopped walnuts, a little bit of thinly shaved fennel, a little bit of fresh blueberries, a great way to make a nice summer salad, light and festive for you to enjoy with friends and family.
I don't know about you, but I love the flavor of fresh raspberries. I recently got an email from Brandy in Missouri, and she said, Alan, I'd really like to grow some raspberries that I can enjoy at home. Do you have any suggestions on varieties and how I should get started? Well, actually I do, Brandy. Now you need to think about raspberries in two different camps. One is the everbearing, which produce berries really right on until the fall, and then those that only produce during the summer. Now, the other thing you need to think about, Brandy, is the varieties that may perform better for you in your part of the world. Now, in Missouri, you're not too far from where I grow my raspberries, so you would probably do well with two of the varieties that I grow. One is called Heritage and the other one's called Dorman Red. The fruits of Dorman Red are very firm, shiny, and light red in color and have a large round berry. They have a slightly tart flavor and produce plants that are vigorous and will thrive in hot weather. That's why they do so well for me. Now you need to know that they require trestling and they'll grow very quickly. And these are only considered summer bearing. They're not going to be one of the ever-bearing varieties. Now on the other hand, I grow Heritage raspberries, which are considered ever-bearing. They were introduced in New York. They produce vigorous upright canes like the ones here in the Willamette Valley. It's a moderate producer. It's going to produce some through the summer, but you're going to get a bump in the fall, which makes it very nice. Now, Brandy, one thing to keep in mind, when I planted my raspberries, I started with 2-year-old bare root plants, and I planted them in the end of winter. It was in March, and they did very, very well. Now, you want to make sure you get the right variety before you put a lot of work into this, so I would check with my local county extension service. They can really help you.
Hey, if you love this video, make sure you comment and subscribe below.